Hello students, welcome again to the class of English. After teaching you the simile figure of speech with definition and examples, today I am going to teach you the second class or category of figures of speech. It is called or known as metaphor. To understand metaphor, first of all, we shall go through its definition. According to P.C. Rain, a metaphor is an implied simile. It does not, like simile, state that one thing is like another or acts as another, but takes that for granted and proceeds as if the two things were one. Or the another definition is, in metaphor, a comparison is made between two different objects that are treated as one and the same, and the words of comparison, as or like or so, are not used. Thus, when we say he fought like a lion, we use a simile. But when we say he was a lion in the fight, we use a metaphor. As I have already explained to you, in simile there are 4 parts. The 2 parts are compared to each other. The third part is the quality, and the fourth part is the comparative word, like, so, or as, showing likeness between the two different objects. If we say he fought like a lion, you see, there are 4 parts. He is compared to a lion. So he and lion are 2 different parts. And the third part is bravery, which is the quality, and it is hidden here. And the fourth part is comparative word, like, showing likeness between the two, he and a lion. So if there are 4 parts or 3 parts, including the comparative words, there is simile. To identify simile in any sentence is very easy. If there are comparative words showing likeness are present in the sentence, such as like, as, so, as, or so as, there is simile used in the sentence. But in metaphor, the comparative word like, as, or so as are not used. There are only two parts in metaphor. The thing which is compared to some other thing, and the other thing which is used for comparison. I mean to say, the two different objects which are compared to each other. But two parts are not there. The part of quality and the part of comparative word showing likeness. In metaphor, both the different objects are considered as one and the same. They are imagined as one and the same. Both are identical to each other, synonymous to each other. They become one. This is the main difference between simile and metaphor. When we say he was a lion, there are only two parts, he and lion, compared to each other. Both are considered as one and the same. There is not the comparative word like or as or so in order to show likeness or similarity or resemblance between the two. So if there are only two parts and they are considered as one and the same, it is metaphor. For other examples, the first one is life is a dream. The poet doesn't say that life is like a dream, but he says life is a dream. Like a dream, it means there is difference between life and dream in spite of having similarity, likeness. Both are like to each other, both are similar to each other, both resemble each other. Yet there is a difference. But if we say life is a dream, it means dream and life both are treated as one and the same. Both are identical to each other, both are synonymous to each other. There is a complete comparison. The comparison is made between two different objects having not one or a few qualities, but all the qualities. the comparison between the two, life and dream, is so complete that both seem to be one and the same. Life is a dream. It means life is as beautiful as dream. Life is very beautiful, which we see in dream. Life is a dream. It is very beautiful. So directly the poet says life is a dream. It is not like a dream. If he says like a dream, it means there is difference between the two, although there is similarity between the two. But in metaphor, there is no difference at all. Because there is not only similarity, but both are the same, both are as one and the same. Second one, the camel is the sheep of the desert. In this example, again the camel and the sheep are considered as one and the same. Likeness is not shown between the two. With the help of comparative words showing likeness as, so as, or as is. Directly, camel takes the place of sheep and sheep takes the place of camel. The camel goes across the desert as the sheep moves across the sea. But the poet has not shown similarity between the two by using comparative words as, like, so, as, or so as. So in this sentence, there is metaphor. The third example is, whose conscience is his strong retreat. This line, whose conscience is his strong retreat, has been selected from the poem Character of a Happy Life, composed by Sir Henry Wotton. In this line, Sir Henry Wotton has used the figure of his speech metaphor. He has not used the comparative words as, so as, or like, but he compares the true happy man's inner soul to his shelter. The poet says, a truly happy man takes shelter in his conscience. Conscience, inner soul. Inner soul is taken as the shelter of a truly happy man. Inner soul has been compared to his shelter without comparative word. So the poet has used the figure of his speech metaphor. He has not used the figure of his speech simile, because for simile, the comparative words are essential to be used. If there is similarity between the two things, two different objects, without comparative words, there is metaphor. It is very easy to identify metaphor in any sentence. The next example is, whose armor is his honest thought. Again, this line has been selected from the same poem, Character of a Happy Life, composed by Sir Henry Wotton. And in this line also, the poet has used the figure of his speech metaphor. He has compared his honest thought to a weapon, armor. Armor is a weapon, is a shield which protects the warrior from the attack of anything in the battlefield. So, a truly happy man is protected from any kind of danger, calamity, or injury, or harm with his honest thought. His honest thought protects him from any kind of danger or injury or attack or harm. His honest thought acts as a shield, as an armor. So the poet says, a truly happy man's honest thought is his armor. He doesn't say that his honest thought is like an armor or a shield. He shows likeness, he shows similarity, but complete similarity. It doesn't show similarity partly. So we can say that in this sentence, whose armor is his honest thought, the poet has used the figure of his speech metaphor. Now, in the next example, the poet says, hearts with equal love combined kindle never dying fires. These lines have been selected from the poem The True Beauty, composed by Thomas Carew. In this sentence, the poet has used the figure of his speech metaphor. He has shown similarity between love and fire. Fire of love. The love in heart is compared to fire. The poet says, if the lover and the beloved have love for each other in equal degree, their love for each other stay everlastingly. Their love become eternal. Eternal love. They have eternal love, everlasting, never ending. So the poet has used the figure of his speech metaphor. Fire and love both are treated as one and the same. Both are not similar to each other, but both are the one and the same. The poet has expressed his thought as if the love and fire both were same. both were one. In this sentence, both are one. Love is fire and fire is love. There is no difference between the two at all. But if there is simile, if comparative words so as like these words are used, there is difference between the two in spite of similarity between the two, resemblance between the two. So, I have defined metaphor in comparison with simile to make you understand the difference between the two, how you can identify metaphor or simile in any sentence easily. It is very remarkable thing for you. At last, I'll bring this remarkable thing to light, that any metaphor can be changed into simile and any simile can be changed into metaphor. If you say, Alice's face is like the moon, it is simile. But if you say, Alice's face is the moon, directly Alice's face is the moon, it is metaphor. If you don't use the comparative words like, as, so, showing likeness, there is metaphor. But if you use these words of comparison, as, so, as, like, there is simile. If you say he fought like a lion, there is simile. But if you say he was a lion in the fight, there is metaphor. Because you have not used the word like. Directly you say he is a lion. In this way,